Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Hopefully everybody's had a wonderful weekend, and I trust that you have. And depending on where you're watching this video on this Sunday night, if you're watching it live on this Sunday night, it may be back to school time. I know a lot of school districts go back to school this week. It's hard to believe because, good evening, Kevron. Glad to have you here as always. I'm not that old, but I can remember when I was in school, we didn't go back till usually around August 17th, 18th, somewhere along in there. It was always the middle of August. But I can remember when I was in elementary school and middle school, we didn't get out till usually like June 8th, 9th, somewhere along in there. And then when I got into high school, we started getting out in May, but it was always like the very end of May, like May 25th, May 26th. Now they're out of school like the first week of May, but they go back late July, early August. Amazing how times have changed. But if you jump on here live on this Sunday evening and you feel the need to, please feel free to leave a comment, just like Keveron did, in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up, and if you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. Now, I want to first say a big thank you to CMW for allowing me to come referee for them again last night. They're currently running the fourth Saturday of each month at the SWA Arena in Easton Nolly, Georgia. Had 7 matches last night, and I got to referee all 7 matches. So a big thank you to CMW. But tonight, speaking of wrestling, I want to talk some wrestling because, believe it or not, it is SummerSlam season, and I think they're trying to make SummerSlam like WrestleMania, because this year is going to be the first year ever that it's going to be a 2-night event. This is the 38th SummerSlam. It'll take place at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Now, we know WrestleMania has been a 2-night event for about a decade now, it seems like. This is the first year that SummerSlam is going to do it, and I'm okay with it because, they're trying to make it like WrestleMania, where it's, their second biggest show of the year. WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, and now SummerSlam will be the second biggest show of the year. It used to be mid-August, now it's the 1st of August, but, there's so many matches that I would rather them make it a 2-night event than have all the matches in one night, where you're starting a pre-show at 4 o'clock and you're having to start the main card at 6 o'clock, and either you got to rush the matches, or if you give each match time, you're not ending till 1 o'clock in the morning, and to me, that's just no fun. Nobody's going to sit in front of their TV for 7 or 8 hours and watch every match. So I would rather them make it a 2-night event, but since they're trying to make it as big as WrestleMania, they're wanting to put as many people on the card as possible. So instead of just having 5 or 6 matches, right now they've announced 11. They may announce one more between now and Saturday, but I doubt it, because right now you've got just about every meaningful superstar on the roster in a match. Hey there, Antonio. Glad to have you here on this Sunday evening. But we've got 6 matches Saturday and 5 matches on Sunday. But my prediction is, since there's one more match on Saturday, the matches will probably be a little bit shorter. And Saturday, they'll probably start at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And the 6 matches will probably be done by 10:30. And then on Sunday, the matches will be a little bit longer, and the 5 matches will go to 10 o'clock. So I estimate, not counting the pre-shows, about 3.5 hours on Saturday and 3 hours on Sunday. And I'd a whole lot rather do that than have 6.5 hours in one night. That's too much wrestling. But on Saturday night, we've got Gunther versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the Women's Championship. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, and the one that just recently got added, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Now, I'm sure if I was to try to get on all the websites and all the social media, different places you can go to that talk wrestling, there's probably a lot of fans upset about them using Jelly Roll. I'm really not, because first of all, it's a tag team match, so more than likely Jelly Roll is probably going to do very, very little. Even if the match goes 15 minutes, we're probably going to see Jelly Roll in the ring for 3, and the rest will be Randy Orton. So it's not like we're going to get, oversaturated with Jelly Roll. That's not going to happen. Second of all, the man's still as big as All Outdoors, but he's lost over 100 pounds. So it's not like, they're taking the old Jelly Roll that was legit the size of a Jelly Roll and putting him in the ring. We're talking about a guy that you can look at him and tell that he's actually been training to get in the ring. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go on some big long run where he's going to wrestle for the next 5 years. No, that's not happening. But you can look at him and tell that he's actually lost weight to try to get into ring shape. So if he's going to try to get in shape to do it, I'm not going to hate on the guy. Plus, it's SummerSlam. There'll be millions and millions of people watching. So this way, you'll also get some country music fans that normally wouldn't watch to watch the show because of him. But me personally, I'm not a fan of his. The only songs I know from him are the ones I hear on the radio, which is, 5 or 6, and I think all of them are absolute garbage. But I also know that even though I personally don't like him, he's also very, very, very popular. So even though I personally don't like him, you kind of understand why he's there. There's been celebrities in the past that I personally didn't like. But if you're wanting people outside of wrestling to watch wrestling, what better way to do it than to bring in a celebrity from, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, singing, whatever, that's very popular. And right now, Jelly Roll, even though his songs are hot garbage, he's very, very popular. And you look at the guy and tell, okay, he's been in the ring training to wrestle, so why not? Let the man get in the ring for 5 minutes. What's wrong with that? And then on night 2, we're going to have John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And Naomi versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. So all 5 matches on Sunday have championships on the line. So obviously they're saving the better matches for Sunday. But on Saturday, you've got a couple of matches with no titles on the line. You have the Roman Reigns and Jey Uso tag team match, the Jelly Roll tag team match, and the Sami Zayn match, where there's no championships on the line in those matches. So they saved the majority of the title matches for night 2 to give you a reason to watch night 2. But I feel like the Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross match is going to get 10 minutes, 12 maybe. And I feel like the Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez match against Charlotte and Alexa Bliss will get 10 minutes, maybe 12. So those two matches will be probably 25 minutes combined. But I do think the other 4 matches on Saturday will be long, but those two I think will be kind of short. But the 5 on Sunday, I think all 5 of them go at least 20 minutes, and I could see a couple of them going closer to 30 minutes. But I think they'll all be at least 20 minutes on Sunday, which is why I said Saturday, those 6 matches, 3.5 hours. Sunday, those 5 matches, 3 hours. But I'd a whole lot rather watch 3.5 on Saturday and 3 on Sunday than 6.5 in one night. That's just too much wrestling. I remember whatever year it was, at least I think it was the last year, that WrestleMania was a one-night event. I think it was on a Saturday, but I could be wrong. But I remember it starting at, I think, 6 o'clock, and it didn't end till like 1 o'clock Sunday morning. I was like, holy cow, that's too much wrestling. Because they tried to have 11 or 12 matches, and that's just too much. So I'm okay with having half on Saturday and half on Sunday. Any thoughts on this? Please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. My wife forbids me to wear the watch my last girlfriend gave me. She doesn't want my Timex hanging around. If you like my new lighting here in the studio whenever you watch this new video, please feel free to let me know. If not, I'll go back to the old lighting, just trying something different tonight. But until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.